So we will learn about Python string formatting today in this session. What is formatting? Suppose if we take a Word document, what is formatting there? You might have seen there no format or a clear formats like that. Format means applying some styles. Uh, Here, of course, yeah, styles, spacing, okay, italic, bold, all those things. But when it comes to Python here, we do, of course, we don't apply those bold, word art, those things. But here formatting means uh, taking a string, which means text, and filling in some values. And, whenever it is required, adding spaces, able to place that string, with the spaces around, spaces in front, or some characters around, like that. So all those things, we call that as formatting. So for that, we need, I've heard about this is string is one data type in Python. How do you write strings? Anything that you write, hello world. Can you see here? This is a syntax error because strings, we enclose them in quotes. Okay. Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yes, we enclose strings in quotes in Python. String in the sense text. Okay, some text parts, we enclose them in quotes. Of course, if you don't put them in quotes, what happens? Python will treat that as a variable, isn't it? Right? Okay, if you type hello, it will give us the name error. Hello is not defined because you haven't assigned anything into hello. But I don't mean to say this is variable. So I mean to say this is some text. But how do you differentiate? How do you tell the Python interpreter it is not an identifier, instead it is a text? So for that reason, we use syntax to enclose the text in quotes. So how do you format this thing? Which means that filling in some, defining it as a string, as a template, filling in some values and add padding and adding, truncate or, filling in some different types of data, such as integers, uh, long integers, numbers. Okay, those things. So we'll see. But how do you? There are two different ways. One is a old way and one is a new way. Old way is that hello. Well, just let me define one text name equal to Alex. Okay. So here we have a string called hello there. So I want to fill in the name here. Okay. How do you? This old way is the specifying format specifier. These are called format specifiers. Okay, there are different format specifiers for different types. Percentage %s for the string, percentage %d for integer. Okay, like that. So percentage %s is for string, and we use this is called percentage symbol, and then we pass on that argument. Okay, can you see this? Okay, so I can give literally a literal here. What is literal? We have heard, we have learned about literals, which means that direct values uh, present in the program that can be assigned to variables, literals. Okay, so here I'm giving Bob. You see, that is filled, replaced. This percentage is replaced with Bob. Later, no, you can also give some 35, that is replaced. But thing is that if you use percentage %s works for all, but you can use percentage %d as well. Okay. Yeah. So percentage %d means integer. Okay. And you can use percentage %f. Okay, which means float. Okay. That will be converted to float and display. For suppose I want only This is whatever I'm explaining now, that is old syntax, old way. Percentage 2f, which means that I need 2 decimal points only. Okay, fill 35 in a float in a decimal format, but use only 2 places after decimal. Yeah. Okay, percentage 2. Percentage 3 means only 3 decimal points. Okay, so this is called formatting. Okay, so we need a way to format a string, isn't it? Because you have values, and how do you uh, do the text processing, combining some predefined text with the values. Okay, that is how in some softwares how come they display. For suppose if you go to the supermarket counter, they have some predefined text, and then uh, amounts, total bill amount will be replaced there. That is how they do it, right? You understand? Okay. uh yeah, so this is old way. What is new way? New way is that we don't have to use instead of format specifiers, we use instead of format specifiers and percentage symbol, here we use a string method called format. Okay, hello there, and we have here, instead of format specifiers, we can use positional as well, or a keyword. Okay, so this is positional, where we can specify. Let me explain. Format, and I am giving argument here, name. Can you see it is replaced? Okay, and another, how these positionals I can give 35. Okay, Bob 35. So I can pass any number of arguments. This is new way, that is that this was introduced in Python 3. Okay, we can use both, but this the method I'm teaching you, explaining now, is a recommended one. Hmm? So I can pass any number of arguments, but it has only one fill in the blanks. Think of it as a fill in the blanks, right? So, but if you pass something, okay, if you don't have anything, you don't get any error, but you passed arguments. But thing is that see how many fill in the blanks I'm using. 3. You see, those 3 will be filled. Can you see? But if I use a fourth one, it does. It is okay if you pass more than uh, blanks you have. If you pass the more arguments than the number of blanks you have. But it is not okay if you have more blanks. Okay, more fill in the blanks but less arguments. It is an error. So you see here, this is error. Replace index 3 out of range. No, it is not like that. See here, how many are there? 4. 4, 3. Okay, that is an error. But if you give less, that is not a problem. Okay, leftover will be just but in such a case, here I have to pass another argument, because that is what it is complaining. Okay, it is telling that you have 4 blanks, but you are giving me 3 only. Okay, if I got fourth one, if I pass fourth one, it is working. Do you see this? Okay, so this is new method. So difference between old method and new method is that in old method we use percentage and we pass arguments. Okay, in a new method we use just curly braces, and we use the string method. See, this is a method, right? Format. That is the reason we are using dot, and what we pass here are called, referred as arguments. Okay, so this do you do so recall the discussion we had about objects, attributes and methods. Attributes are just like characteristics, you refer them, but methods are like a behavior, or some task or action. Here we are telling this string, do this action, format yourself, and here are the arguments I'm giving. Do you understand? So this is an action. So behavior. So we call it as method, and number of arguments we are passing here are 4. So separated by comma. There is one thing here. You can actually see these are getting filled in the range, right? If you don't specify anything. But you can actually shuffle that range by specifying an index position. Index always starts with 0. Like what is the index here? How many arguments are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4. But the index starts with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. So I can specify that index 3 here, 0 here, 1 here, 2. So can you see the difference in order here? See, when you don't specify anything, do you understand? When you don't specify anything, they will be filled. Those blanks will be filled in the order. Otherwise, you can we can have we can take a freedom to fill these blanks out of order by specifying explicitly what position this is by mentioning that index within the curly braces. You see third one, which is index 3, 0, 1, 3, sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the one, right? And 0, which is name, alias. See, these three are literals I have used. This, see, name is a variable. See, these three are literals. This is a variable, right? So Bob can be a variable, but is not variable. It is literal because it is enclosed in quotes, such that it is a string. Okay, what is a literal? Literal is any value. Okay, value, the present that can be directly included in the program. No. The if you put any quotes around anything, that becomes a string. Yes, that is a syntax. And what is the syntax for writing a float or decimal one? Dot. Yeah, right. So how do you know that is by looking at dot here? You can recognize this is a float or a fractional number. Like that. So this is a variable name. So which is filled means this name is replaced with the value inside that. Okay, or that is value that is referring alias. And we have here uh, 1, which is 0, 1. You have here index 1 Bob, and index 2 0, 1, 2, which is 35. Can you see? Okay, let's try this one. Now let's remove this. What happens? Let's remove 1. Okay, what happens? You will get an error, which means to say you cannot mix empty blanks and specifying indexes altogether, because the Python can't decide what to fill here. Yes. Do you understand what is the error here? Cannot switch from manual fill to specified to automatic fill numbering. Okay. So if you have to use, you have to leave. If you leave, Python decides, fills all those blanks in the order. Okay. So it means that you can mix. Python doesn't know. Okay. Because it is out of order, right? So do you understand? Yeah, here it is working. Either you use empty blanks. I'm calling this as blanks, for our discussion sake. Okay. So so you can leave them empty, and Python decides, and fills them in the order. Otherwise, you take out of the order, you can't mix both. Okay, so you have to fill all of them. Okay, another way. So these are called positional. Okay. These two types of formatting, this is called positional formatting. Okay, why is it called positional formatting? Because we are specifying this is according to the position of argument, right? So that it can be explicit or implicit. If you don't specify anything, this is implicit, and it is according to the order the arguments are passed. If you specify, you can take out of them those arguments. You can choose to fill them out of the order, but by specifying, uh, indexes explicitly. Okay, or in other words, position, index or position. So it is called positional formatting. And there is a key formatting based on keywords also. Okay, how does it work? So you can pass arguments. These are called keyword arguments. Okay, name equal to name. Okay, name to equal to Bob. This is called keyword arguments. We will learn about this uh, later. Uh, later, but see the types of arguments. There's a good article here. There's a nice article here. See uh, about types of arguments. There are different types of arguments. If you take a function, uh, these are called parameters in a function definition. In a function call, we call them as arguments. And there are different types of arguments, such as positional and keyword arguments. Okay. Uh, see, these are all different types of arguments in Python. So these are positional if you don't specify anything. The keyword arguments are those we pass, uh, we specify names. Okay. So let me give you an example here. This is called positional argument, but this is keyword arguments because you are specifying keyword here. Okay. So which means think of it as a name. You are naming the parameters. Okay, so you can use you are naming parameters, and these are like keywords. So these are named as a keyword arguments. In here it is a default arguments. Don't be confused here. In a function definition, if you specify value, you can choose to specify some defaults during function definition. So it is a default argument, but during the function call, no. So here, this is the keyword argument because you are specifying. So as you are passing the argument, you are naming that argument. You understand? Okay. So you are yeah, but that has to be the name of name that is included in a function definition. Okay. So you're passing with the keywords. So the advantages with the keyword arguments is that you can mix. If you define a function, those arguments should be in the order according to the parameters defined in the function. But if you want to pass arguments out of order, you can choose to pass them with the keywords. Okay, but for the time being, understand this. This if you see fetch home page. This is a function that is getting called here. Function call it is, and first is a positional argument. Yeah, and the second one is port, which is a keyword argument, because these are named arguments. So I'm passing the argument along with the name. Okay, so see here. But one thing is that you can't put the keyword argument first and then the positional argument, because Python doesn't know the order of rest of the positional arguments. Just like we can't mix the empty blanks in a formatting with a position. Okay. Mm, so let's move forward. This is keyword arguments. Okay. But positional, can you see positional arguments follows keyword arguments? No, this is wrong. Yeah, see, you can choose. You don't have to give all of names for all of them. Yeah, you see here. Yeah, you don't have to give names for all of them. See, I first two are positional arguments, and next one I'm giving value, and then I'm giving pi. Okay. Okay, so here out of range. Why? Because replacement of index 3 out of range, because we passed the two positional only, right? Okay, and again error because you can't mix positional and you can choose to use like this. Do you understand? It doesn't mean that you can use those values once only. Can you see here? Because empty at the end. Yeah. See, here I mixed the 0. We got Bob for 1, and 0 we got Alice, and 1 Bob. See, check the magic here. Since I am passing positional argument, I can use, instead of position, I can use that value. Do you got it? Do you get it? Yeah, because positional arguments, I'm passing these arguments, so with the naming those arguments. Okay, so we call them as some, they can also be referred as named arguments, but these are fancy name for that is position keyword arguments. Okay, keyword arguments can also be referred as a named arguments. So because we are passing those arguments by naming them. Okay, so do you understand? This is a thing. You have you can choose to, but you have a lot of them. Sometimes it is convenient for us to refer the position. For our other times it would be convenient for us to refer with the name. Can you see this? Yeah, can you see here 5? No, that is not possible. You can choose. You have to use either positioner or a keyword. Okay. Yes. Okay. Mm, so that is how you can format. Okay. And so next thing is alignment. Okay. Let's talk about alignment. So I have this thing here. For suppose hello, and I want to fill uh, world, hello world, but okay, after 10 blanks. Okay, format. Oh, see, that is an error because I have opened the, oh, there's an open code, but there's no close code. Okay. Can you see here? Okay, count this thing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the how does this thing work? It resolve 10 spaces, and then it will fill that word in this 10 spaces right justified. Okay, so this is called right justification. Remember, in a word there is a justification: left justified, right justified, and center, right? you Yeah, like this, do you recall this one? In a Word document, there's a justification here. Something, same thing we are doing. Right? The left justification right. It means that with whole text arranged will be arranged left. Right justification, whole text will whole text starts arranging itself from the right. Okay, like that. So greater than means that right justification. But see, if I give 5 here, it will reserve 5 spaces, and it will fill the text out of those five spaces. Okay, if we give less, nothing happens. It's just like no effect. Okay, if I give 15, yes, if I give less than, that is left justified. Can you see here the blank here? Yeah, if I give caret, which is center. Yeah, caret, which is a character, right? On a, sorry. Yeah, yeah. Wait. That is not. You see, this is the one. Okay, it's called a caret symbol, or it is also referred as a cap. Okay. Yeah. No. That is just that is syntax here to tell that justify this text that is getting filled center. It means that center justification. It means left justification. Greater than means right. Okay. And so by default, if you don't specify anything, which is left justification by default. Okay. So and there's another magic here. Let's say I want I want to fill some text here. Okay. I want to fill some text such as star. Okay. Instead of blanks. Okay. Do you understand? Uh, but instead of star, you can specify underscore. Yeah, you can do. No. You can choose to specify any character. So you see, underscore. But if I use left justification, remaining characters are filled with instead of blanks, they are filled with this character. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, if I give 2.45 and I can choose sorry. So wait. Yeah, like this. We can put the character cap. Okay. Okay, and moving forward, uh, if you don't want this thing, like it does, it will have no effect uh, if you provide a less. Yeah, we will do one example as well. An example. Okay. Uh, so for suppose, how do you truncate? Let's say just put this thing hello uh, wall. If I provide a dot two, what happened? Yeah. Can you see here? Okay, this is a truncating string. Okay, there's no effect of that left and right justification. You are taking only two. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, not yeah, no change. And see, yeah, if you take a point three, uh, you are you are getting WR, and there is no effect of formatting here unless you specify that formatting option as a uh, integer before the that decimal point. You see, now you see formatting happen. You can combine truncation, padding, formatting all together. Oh, sorry, that's a mistake. You see, all together. Okay, we combine here. Yeah, see, I use the underscore after caret cap symbol. It has to be that character first. Uh, okay, the padding character, which is called a padding. Okay, the padding character first. It has to be the first character, and then symbol for a formatting, left, right, or center, and then you have a number of places for padding, and then a truncate. Okay, and yeah, instead of underscore, you can put a ampersand symbol. You see, any character you can use. Okay, and so how do you format numbers? Like we have here 255. Okay, how do you format that thing? For a numbers, we use symbol D. Specifier instead of percentage D. In a new syntax, we use format specifier. Like this. This is a old syntax. Percentage D. Yeah, in a new syntax, we with this format method, we use colon D. Okay, format specifier. Colon S means uh sorry. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. See, yeah, you see, I don't understand your question. See, in explicitly percentage by default it takes string, okay? See, it works. Okay, but you choose to, yeah, yeah. If you choose to format as a string, that is how you use. So, but how many characters decimals you want to take? See, two only. Okay, the padding, how much you want padding? 10. Okay, and so if you don't specify f, that is you see, uh, here we got a precision not allowed in integer format specifier. Okay, because it is an integer, but okay, for that reason, that is, do you understand this error? Precision not allowed in integer format specifier. So it is an integer, that is, there is an error because the precision is not allowed. For that, we explicitly specifying format is as a float. Okay, and you can fill that. Okay, center justified, and you can fill star error. Okay, and there is, you can choose to here hello, and see here I'm giving string, and then if I use f explicitly specify, that is an error. Unknown format code f for object of type string. Do you understand? Okay. Uh, here 15. Sorry. Okay. See, there is another syntax here. which is we can specify what kind of conversion uh, by using this exclamatory mark. Okay, so we are forcing it to be a raw string here. If you don't specify, it works as a normal string. We are forcing it to be a raw string using exclamatory mark. Okay, and then the conversion. Sorry, a mistake. Okay, and this is value conversion. Okay, whatever the value we have here before the colon. And let's discuss what is this colon here. Let's do the multiple arguments here. You understand this one? You can use the multiple arguments, right? Hello, and you have bar 35. It works. And just put the position, which is 1, 0, 2. It works. Okay, and yes, and how do you specify after position? You can use colon and specify. Okay, format 15. Okay, and like this. Okay, position or a keyword, colon, and then the formatting options we specify. Right justify this one, left justify this one. Got it? This is whole thing combined. Taking out of the order by using position. So this is called positional formatting, and you can use keyword also. Let's combine this pi value. Let's give it a pi 3.14, and instead of 2, I have to use here pi. Do you see here? Do you understand? Because 2 is wrong here. We got only two positional arguments, which means 0, index 0, and index 1. That is the reason it is complaining you gave me index 2, but that is out of range because I got only two positional arguments. But you gave me third one. Index 2 means third one, right? Index starts from 0. Okay. So here, so since I passed it as positional argument, sorry, keyword arguments, I used that keyword here. See this formatting, everything combined here. Okay. So these are also called named placeholders. Okay, because so these are, we can refer them as blanks, fill in the blanks, templates, or placeholders, because the best this can be best referred as placeholders because we are putting placeholders uh, to be filled by arguments that we pass, right? Okay, ఇక్కడ where backslash and there for a conversion to explain that here see the we converted that this as a raw string. Okay, so these are called escape sequence characters. Slash n means new line. See, print hello slash n wall. If you print this, both will be printed new line. Okay, but if it is a raw, it is converted as a raw string, this slash n will not be treated as a new line. Instead it will be treated as a normal character, because that, if I give slash double slash, that is will be treated as single character. So you see, now there is no special meaning for that. Okay, so to explain you using this conversion, value conversion, bang or this special character is converted into just a raw character, normal character. Okay, And so do you have any questions so far? Yep. This is about the formatting in Python. Uh, we'll see just how to print using this formatting uh, patterns. Okay, we can print. This is kind of uh, good challenges for anyone who is learning programming, because it involves using loops and using formatting. Okay, so using this format, we can print these kind of patterns. Okay, so for suppose let's print this pattern using simple for loop. We don't if for the time being, don't worry about loops. Okay, but so looping we use when we, if we want, anytime if you are doing a repetitive task. Okay, it is a bad thing. So for suppose your tutor gave you imposition, for suppose when you was in school, write this thing 100 times. So you would sit and you would write that thing 100 times. But as a programmer, if you want to write something 100 times, and if you write that 100 times, you are a bad programmer, because you have loops here. You are the whole point of doing programming is to reduce the work, right? So likewise, if there is any kind of imposition, if you want to print something multiple times, do some action multiple times, what do we use? We use loops. For suppose here Python loops are like this. Okay, so for suppose I want to print a hello world, welcome Python 10 times. Okay, so this is how I print it. See, I don't have to write that thing 10 times, even though it is 100 times, even though it is 1000 times. Okay, I don't have to do that 3000 times I print it. But I don't have to sit and write that 1000 times. You know that this is just an example of printing some text on standard output. But imagine doing some calculation repetitively. You don't have to write again and again. So then let's use formatting to print the pyramid for I in range of 10. What I can use, print off, I can use string formatting. So I want to print the pyramid. Okay, so how to print this thing? I want to center justified star. I want to print the star, center justified, and uh, value here. Okay, uh, just x equal to, this is called you may ask what if you want to print what if you want to make this character treated as a normal character, not the placeholder. In such a case, we have to use this double curly braces, so that they will not be treated as a placeholders. Do you understand? Okay, so and there I'm using caret. Okay, sorry, star caret. And there is a one thing we haven't learned. uh I'll show you this parameterized formatting also we can do. Okay, let me do that thing, let me explain that, and I'll use that. Okay, so what is parameterized formatting? So for suppose here I can use colon, and I can use value, and then okay, and width w. Okay, how it works? Format. Okay, and I can pass the what is value here. I can pass some value here. hello. Okay, and I have to pass this parameters named it. So this is called parameterized formatting. Why? Because I'm filling those formatting itself with parameters. Do you understand here? Within within curly braces. Within this placeholder, I'm using again placeholders. Okay, I'm giving here a line. Okay, and then width 50. Oh, value. Yeah. Do you see? Yeah. So likewise, why? See, I'm using another placeholder inside a placeholder. That is possible. Okay. So let's do that thing. Okay. Colon star caret and so value format of what is the value? I have to fill that variable. Oh, range value. Okay, we have to pass here character. Which one you want to fill? See, okay, and uh, can you see this one? I'll explain this thing. So this is inverted pyramid, and this is law. Yeah, 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 yeah. So we are combining everything. So likewise, mm, you can print patterns, and of course, the whole idea of learning this thing is not to print the patterns, but printing pattern actually will provide some food for your brain to sharpen your skills to uh, because this is about logical thinking. How do you put all these things together and apply? Okay, so that printing this pattern is kind of helpful uh, to learn loops as well as logic as well as this applying this formatting.